In a last-ditch effort to assassinate one of his numerous adversaries, Pablo Escobar, the infamous Colombian drug lord, once detonated a plane full of innocent passengers. On that morning in 1989, a bomb on Avianca Flight 203 went off, killing 107 people. By falling aircraft debris, 3 more people perished. Not even on board was Escobar's intended victim. Among his many crimes, Escobar was responsible for the assassinations of Colombia's justice minister and a presidential candidate. Numerous police officers were killed as a result of his bounty on their heads. Under the rule of the King of Cocaine, as many as 50,000 people may have died, while the actual number is likely lower. In 1949, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born in the Colombian town of Rio Negro. He and his family relocated to a Medellin suburb when he was a young child, and by the time he was in his teens, he had been deeply involved in the criminal underworld, robbing automobiles and stealing gravestones from nearby cemeteries to sell. Escobar wasn't introduced to major crime until he was in his 20s. He would take coca, which was primarily farmed in Bolivia and Peru, turn it into cocaine, and send it to sell in the US. Escobar formed and took total control of the Medellin cartel in his late 20s, making it possibly the most profitable criminal enterprise ever. At its peak, the cartel controlled 80% of the global cocaine market, bringing in an estimated $420 million every week. The Medellin cartel made so much money that it had to figuratively put billions of dollars in sacks of cash and bury it. In his 20s, Escobar achieved financial success. Soon, his wealth reached billions of dollars. 7 years in a row, from 1987 when his estimated value was $3 billion through 1993, he appeared on Forbes's list of the world's wealthiest people. Escobar used his money to build his own private zoo at the opulent Hacienda Naples estate in northwest Colombia, which included wild hippos. He overspent on numerous properties across the nation, including dozens of homes, automobiles, yachts, airplanes, at least one professional soccer team, and houses. Aware of his public image, he gave millions away as well, helping to build homes and soccer fields in underprivileged parts of Medellin. Escobar employed a vast army of sicarios to silence politicians, police, journalists, and anybody else who dared to undermine his hegemony. These underpaid, frequently hand-selected Colombians, most of whom were young men, were hired to look after Escobar and carry out his instructions. These wishes frequently involved murder. John Jairo Velázquez, aka Popeye, served as one of Escobar's primary hitmen. He alleges to have killed 300 individuals himself and to have given orders for 3,000 more people to be executed on Escobar's behalf. Things became increasingly violent as the Colombian government began to crack down on Escobar in the late 1980s, assisted by the Drug Enforcement Administration and other American agencies. Escobar's greatest worry was extradition to the US, so he made an effort to pressure the Colombian government into enacting a non-extradition policy. Political squabbling resulted in blatant terror before the cartel and the government entered a full-fledged conflict. Escobar struck a deal as the number of murders in Medellin and other cities grew and life on the run became intolerable. Escobar agreed to give himself in and accept to serve 5 years in a jail of his choosing if he was to comply with the terms of the deal. He wouldn't be extradited to the US for trial after serving his sentence. The deal was especially sweet because Escobar personally supervised the building of the prison, known as La Catedral. It included a soccer field, a helicopter pad, a bar, a dollhouse for his kids, a jacuzzi and a waterfall. His sicarios served as the guards. He could come and go as he pleased. The cocaine never stopped flowing. Neither did the money. But the wonderful life was about to come to an end. Escobar and his men killed, dismembered, and burned 2 of his associates who they believed were robbing the cartel. Escobar was slain on a rooftop in Medellin 17 months after leaving La Catedral. Escobar is still hailed as a hero by the underprivileged today. Murals in Medellin's Barrio Pablo Escobar, a popular destination for tourists, feature his portrait. People throng Escobar's grave in the La Catedral ruins.